Hello and welcome back. This is the first part for the phase 2 of our free and open source digital agency journey. And if you don't know, free and open source digital agency is all about FOSS software that we can self-host on our own servers. In Europe, we must to comply with all GDPR regulations when we are working with a customer or client's data. And on-premises software can help us greatly achieve third-party software independence and stay compliant because all data will stay on our own servers. And this part one of phase 2 is all about Nextcloud. And as you can check my documentation, I got everything prepared what will be later in this series. So now we're gonna install our Nextcloud, and that's gonna be it. And in the next part we will gonna configure. So after intro we will talk about what is Nextcloud, why we should use it, and all other things about Nextcloud. So what is Nextcloud? Nextcloud is a collaboration software like Google Workspace, Microsoft 365, Zoho, or any other. With Nextcloud, you can synchronize your files, share, and collaborate with anybody that you provide access with the account. Also, you can use Nextcloud Talk to set up your own scheduling system. You can have online meetings with your clients, with your customers, or even you can create guests. You can do it by the Nextcloud appointments, where is it like it is like Calendly, but it is open source and you control everything. You don't have to pay for anything. And what another part of Nextcloud is Nextcloud Groupware, that is team planning and email. You can even set up your SMTP email inside of Nextcloud, so you don't have to use any applications on your system like Outlook, Thunderbird, or anything else. And the main selling point of Nextcloud is Nextcloud Office. And Nextcloud Office is a powerful online office suite with collaborative editing. It supports all major documents, spreadsheets, and presentation file formats, and they work in all modern browsers. And Nextcloud Office is built with Collabora productivity, which is, I think, it is a standard for every collaborative and office software. And you can check how Nextcloud stacks up with other software. But what makes Nextcloud the best choice is the best security. Nextcloud is developed in security-focused process as attested by a range of external experts and security pen testers. It has the large ecosystem where you can enhance your Nextcloud instance with apps. Those are like the plugins where you can install it. And it is really easy to use. It is accessible features like keyboard and screen reader navigation, WCAG 2.1 compliant, and contrast and dyslexia friendly. So it is complete out of the box compliant. You can read more about how Nextcloud stack up versus Google Drive, Office 365, Box, Citrix, and other proprietary software. But Nextcloud is open source. And you can find more versions of Nextcloud that you can deploy, but in my case, we will deploy Nextcloud all-in-one. That means it got you everything with Nextcloud, Nextcloud Office. You will get the high-performance backend for Nextcloud files when you want to sync more devices. You will get the high-performance backend for Nextcloud Talk, so you can host your own group talks when you have maybe 5 or 10 members on one call. It has built-in backup solutions based on the Borg backup, which is an open source backup solution. It has imaginary for images. It has antivirus Claim AV, which will scan the files when you upload it if they are contain virus or any malware, and also it got a full text search. And yeah, so let's get started with the installation. So in the official GitHub page for the Nextcloud All-in-One, you can find the Docker Compose file that we will use in our container. And as you can see, it has many variables. So I will strip down this compose file and only select things that are required, and everything else can be configured in the graphical user interface. But before this, we need to open our port 3478 for our talk, and we go there by in our Hetzner dashboard. We're gonna go to the firewalls section, and we're gonna add our new two rules for ports 3470. So we're gonna add any IPv4. We're gonna paste the port 3478, and we're gonna name it Nextcloud Talk. And we're gonna add another Nextcloud Talk UDP, because this port needs to be open on TCP and UDP. But if you don't plan to run Nextcloud Talk for a video conferencing, you don't need to open this port at all. So we're gonna click Save Changes, and that's it. Firewall is updated. We can meantime copy our IP address from this server. We can close this, and we can actually create our domain name in our CyberPanel, because CyberPanel controls our emails. It is our DNS server, and it controls everything. So we go to domains, to DNS, add or delete records. Gonna select our domain. You can use any subdomain that you want to use, but in my case it's gonna be Workspace. Time to leave is gonna be default 3600, and IP address is gonna be IP of our server, and we're gonna click add. Alright, so now we have our domain name. We want to set up SSL on our Nginx proxy manager that we deployed in a previous episode. So we go to SSL certificate. We're gonna add our SSL. Let's encrypt. Domain name is gonna be workspace.webnestify.org. Press enter to confirm. We're gonna agree to the last encrypt terms, and we're gonna click save. And this process should take a couple seconds or 1 minute the maximum. So we just will wait. Alright, our SSL is done. We go back to the host, proxy hosts. We're gonna add a new one. Domain name will be workspace.webnestify.cloud. Enter to confirm. Scheme will be HTTP. For the hostname IP will be the IP address of our portainer server, and port will be 11,000. And we want to block common exploits, and also we want to enable WebSocket support. For the SSL, we can choose our Workspace SSL, Force SSL, HTTP2 support, and we can click Save. So now when we are here, I'm gonna walk you through the Nextcloud all-in-one Docker Compose. So first, we will need to create our master container volume for the Nextcloud where it will store all the data. Here is specify Nextcloud all-in-one image latest. Restart policy unless you manually stopped. It will be restarted always, so if there is sudden reboot on your server, it will automatically come back online. Here is the name for the container. Those are another volumes that are mounted, and port will be 8090. That we will access the Nextcloud all-in-one installation interface, and Apache port that is for the reverse proxy. As we set up reverse proxy on port 11,000, this is the port. If this port is in use, you can use any other port. We don't want to skip domain validation because we want to validate our domain. Apache disable rewrite IP is on by default 1. And Nextcloud trusted domains, you will need to change it to your domain that you've chosen. So in this case will be webnestify.org. And also you want to paste the trusted proxy host IP. So you paste the IP address of your server. And here also. I will leave this Docker Compose in the documentation so you can just click and paste into the portainer. So now we can move to the portainer itself. So now when you are in your portainer instance, you want to click it. And as shown before in previous episode, we want to add our new stack. So we go to the stacks, add the stacks, and we're gonna name it Nextcloud. Now you will need to copy this Docker Compose file from the documentation, and you want to paste it here, and you want to click deploy this stack. Additional volumes Nextcloud is not allowed. Alright, let me fix it. So we're gonna deploy it once more. And now it is working, so this can take up to 2-3 minutes because the image is pretty large. And once this is done, we will continue configuring our Nextcloud. It looks like our Nextcloud is already up. So when we go to the dashboard, we check the containers, and you see the state is starting. We can check the logs, and you will see that the server is preparing. So be a little bit patient. Alright, so now you see the container is healthy. All you need to do to access installation is to click these publish ports, and it will open a new tab. And it looks like we forget open our port 8089 on our portainer. So all we need to do is go back to the firewalls. I'm gonna click the portainer. We're gonna paste our dedicated IP address from our VPN instance, and we're gonna name it Nextcloud all-in-one interface. You're gonna paste your IP address and port 8089. I'm gonna click Save Changes. Firewall is applied, and we can visit our Nextcloud instance. First, you will see that it is a bad request because we opened it on HTTP, but we have our self-signed certificate. So all you need to do is to type HTTPS. You're gonna go to advanced and proceed to unsafe. So now you are in your Nextcloud all-in-one setup interface. Make sure you save this password because you won't be able to get this password again. This is the last time it shows here, and also make sure it's somewhere safe. So now we can open our Nextcloud login. You're gonna paste this password and click login. We can close this step. It will take some time after first login, but after that it will be almost instant because you can log in through your Nextcloud dashboard. Just be a little bit patient with this. So after 2 minutes, we are in our installation screen. And first thing what we need to do is to enter our domain. So it is workspace.webnestify.org. You can click submit. So our domain is now validated. And here are the main things that you want to decide if you want to have installed. And that depends on the server hardware. So we have our 2 GB server for this. So I would only select Collabora and Nextcloud Talk. If you don't need online meetings in your Nextcloud, you can deselect it, and you will get only the file sharing and the collaboration Office suite. And as you can see, the minimum requirements with any option add-on is at least 2 GB and dual-core CPU, which we have. Enabling antivirus or full-text search, you need at least 3 GB of RAM. And if you want to enable everything, you need at least 4 GB. And they also recommend it to have at least 1 GB RAM more than the minimum requirement. So if you enable everything, like here, you will need 4 GB. And in Hetzner, you can do that really easily. When you go back to the servers, and on the left side, you will see the rescale. And here you can rescale your server to requirements. So if you want to have everything enabled, I highly recommend going with CPX31. You will get 4 cores and 8 GB of RAM, which is plenty. But in this case, we will not upgrade our server, and we will continue installing this without antivirus and the full text search. Let me zoom out a little bit, and we can click Save Changes. And last thing that you want to set up is your time zone for your meetings and appointments. So customers from different time zone can have your time zone in sync. So we're gonna type Europe, Bratislava, and we're gonna submit. It will ask you make sure it is valid. So yes, it is valid. We're gonna save, and we're gonna start our containers. And be patient. This process can take from 10 minutes to 20 minutes. Do not refresh the page. It will automatically be refreshed once all containers are installed. So after 5 minutes, our page was refreshed, and now we can see what's happening, what containers are starting and which are running. If you don't see the screen, you just have to wait, and you can take a look in the container, where you will see also the overview of your containers. So just be patient, everything is working, there is no need to panic. So after another 2-3 minutes, you will see your Nextcloud initial password. You copy that in your clipboard, and you will open your Nextcloud instance. Alright, so we got another issue, and the issue is we probably set up our proxy on the wrong domain. So all you need to do is to edit. If you do some mistakes before, I'm gonna type workspace.webnestify.org, enter. We're gonna click save, and we should be able to get to our Nextcloud instance. And yes, here we are. So account name or email is admin, and you're gonna paste your password. All right, so now you successfully installed your Nextcloud all-in-one, and in the next episode, I will walk you through recommended settings. We will configure email, we will configure user groups, how you can invite your users inside your instance, and also we're gonna take a look on a Nextcloud Talk and also applications that you can install to enhance functionality for the Nextcloud. So I hope you really like this video, and if you have any questions, any comments, or technical issues, please leave comments down below. I will always answer and try to help you. And if you want to have more applications installed outside of this free and open source digital agency series, you can always contact me and we can talk what Webnestify can do for your business. So stay tuned for the next episode. See you guys.